So I want to talk to you about your ECI, but first, could you tell us the story of how you became an entrepreneur and what inspired you to pursue this career path?
Oh, victim to change maker it starts as. So I didn't have an easy life. I don't have any qualifications, I don't have any skills, and I don't have any training. But I found myself a survivor of domestic violence as a single parent, as an Asian and as a female, and actually was forced into entrepreneurship because I had no other options of what to do. So I started my business in my kitchen at home, making samosas, which are Indian products. I made 4, and 8 years later we were producing 10,000 products a week, going from supplying delicatessens to supermarkets and airlines, and also from me to 35 staff, every single one of them long-term unemployed. That's how I got into entrepreneurship. I failed, I lost the company, so I'll be completely honest. And today I run international company organisations in different places in the world, from private sector to social enterprises to not-for-profit NGOs.
So your ECI, Act4Growth, which closed on June 10th, called for greater policy intervention at the EU level to develop and support female entrepreneurs as a strategy for sustainable economic growth. Can you tell us a little bit about the ECI and why it's such an important issue for the EU as a whole?
The ECI we did because there are 4 pieces of policy which have been put in place in the USA which support female entrepreneurs. Now, as a result of those 4 pieces of policy being put in place, the number of female entrepreneurs doubled across a period of 10 years. Now, what does that mean? That means growth, it means jobs, and it means more enterprises. So, as an example, since the crisis, the most number of SMEs that have been created have been by female-owned businesses. The most number of jobs created have also been by female-owned companies. That is economics. Europe is in a crisis. If we don't tap into the economic potential of women, we are not going to pull ourselves out of this crisis. And that's why I just want 4 pieces of policy putting in place. The most important piece of that is to collect the data. In Europe, we do not collect the data regarding female entrepreneurs. Why? Because it shows the discrimination towards female entrepreneurs of the European Union.
So the United States and individual member states have legislation protecting and encouraging female entrepreneurs. Why do you think the EU has been slow in adopting similar measures?
Because the EU is led by men. Sorry, I have to say it. When are we going to take the economic potential of women seriously? We know that women can create sustainable and strong businesses. We know that we have data, especially from the UK, that women's businesses grow over a longer period of time, they grow with less money and they take less risk, but they are more sustainable than male businesses. We need a combination of both male and female-owned companies to make a strong European economy. And that means that Europe, the Commission, has to adopt these policies in the same way that Australia, Canada, New Zealand, all have done it because they have recognised the economic potential of women.
Like so many ECIs, Act4Growth was not successful in collecting the 1 million signatures needed. The ECI Framework Review and Revision is foreseen for 2015. Can you discuss some of the logistical barriers you faced in acquiring the signatures?
Getting the signatures, so you make an assumption that it's very easy to collect 1 million signatures. You don't, and nobody ever tells you how much money you have to invest in it, how much time you have to invest in it, and how many resources. That's the first mistake we made. We assumed that everybody that told us they were going to support us were going to support us. But the worst thing, and the reason, and I'm going to put my hand on my heart here and say this is where I gave up, was when people inside the European Commission were telling me, Maddie, why are you doing this? You know it's set up to fail. Now, when you know that something, you're going to go to all this work, I'm putting in my own personal financial resources to make this happen. But when you know that if you've collected 1 million signatures, the Commission are just going to turn around and go, yeah, thanks very much, we agree with what you're doing, but we're not going to do anything about it. I'm really sorry, why should I put all that effort into it? So I'm afraid at some point I actually gave up, which is really naughty of me because I don't normally give up. But now I'm going to say to the European Commission, until they actually adopt what they've said that they're going to do and support people who collect these 1 million signatures, which is not easy, I'm going to keep telling the European Commission it's time it got its act together and stop lying to the citizens of the European Union.
So ECAS has developed an online app, which we are currently seeking more funding for, to help with the managing and collecting of signatures. How did you use social media in your campaign, and did it play a big part in spreading the word?
Okay, you can't do anything these days without social media. I'm 50 years old, and I'm sorry, it's not really my thing. But we know that in order to get the message out, we have to be tweeting to our friends. We have to be using Facebook, and not just once a day, 3-4 times a day. So using the technologies and facilities like apps are absolutely brilliant to be sharing that message and rolling on. We are not talking about a piece of legislation or a piece of policy which changes the lives for one person. We're talking about pieces of policy and changes in legislation which change the lives of you. And therefore, we need you to get involved. We need the citizens to get involved. And you can only contact the citizens these days in a mass number through social media, through technology. So congratulations for doing something like this. And I wish you every success in getting the right technologies together.
Can we still ask one question? You said that most of the people working in the European Commission said that your initiative was going to fail. Why were you doing this? So if you were to redoing something like this to propose your initiative and to put your ideas forward, what instruments will you use? What kind, instead of an ECI, what kind of activities, or how would you push your ideas forward?
The ECI has been invented to support the propositions coming from citizens of the European Union. And they've put in place that you have to have 7 people to support you in 7 different member states. And after that, you have to collect 1 million signatures. The instrument is brilliant. It stops one-off stupid ideas getting through the net. But when you have gone to all that effort, the European Commission should at least have the decency to honour what the citizens are requesting and at least look at it in serious depth. Right for Water was a classic example that the European Commission just issued a communique. That is disgusting. You know, they had a debate in the Parliament. It's disgusting. You know, they got 1 million signatures in the first few weeks. So if the ECI is put into place properly, there should be no need for any other instruments. Without the ECI instrument, first of all, the European Treaty would not have been signed. It was put in specially. And the question is now, why is the European Commission, Barroso, the European Parliament not even promoting ECIs to European citizens? Why are the members of Parliament, the heads of state, not even promoting the ECIs? Because actually, they want to fool the public. Well, stop it, because that's why the European population didn't vote for you anymore. Please, don't treat the citizens as idiots. This piece of legislation is absolutely brilliant. Let's implement it and let's use it properly and let's make the change that we all want to see.